Hello, I'm John Proxon, John West. I'm having a Danganronpa 2. Goodbye, despair adventure. We need to make our argument. About how he was able to spear himself.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand. But his left hand was also tied up. Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth?
Or maybe he used his front tail.
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
Sorry.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong!
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
What? How did he tie himself up while holding the spear? Like, that would have been really difficult.
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain. But it's not the only unnatural bloodstain.
Yeah, there's one on the spear.
Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
What was Nagito's gripping?
I see!
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
God damn it, I was almost going to make that joke. Like using the word front tail. Alright, game. Calm down. Calm down.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear! Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the problem. He balanced.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle, just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
The cord.
I see!
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself,
No,
right?
he held it aloft. Like the sword of Damocles.
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki?
This has been a really weird, quick trial.
I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
What's up with the poison and all that? Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand, but from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with a spear? Oh,
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
It's not cooled down yet to a temperature which I can... I mean, I could sip it.
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
I'll be honest, I figured out all the answers at once. Once we realised it was Nagito, it was kind of obvious. But whatever. Also, that's too long to make an episode title.
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time? What does that mean? Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So it made a 180-degree turn is the point she's making. That's it. Could it be? The state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? If I put those two together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and the state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Let's do some mind surfing! Have you noticed, because I was the least confident about this trial, I'm doing the best in all the puzzles? Because I don't have any, like, preconceived notions or anything? I know I obviously ruined it as soon as I said that, but still. Question 1. Where was the spear? Oops. Above Nagito. Oh, I'm facing the right direction now. Before it impaled Nagito. Question 2. Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? Ceiling girder. Damn it. Stop it! Stop it! Oh, I hate these so much! You just have to be completely out of the way of them. Question 3. The spear's cord. So what item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder?
It's all coming together!
So the more confident I get, the more mistakes I make.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular. In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP? That'd be awesome, but he'd probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support. He hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Yeah, he's enough.
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
I feel like the music would have covered that, but
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer.
but he's always been trying to help us.
His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
No, he was trying to make a hard problem for us to solve. Why is my face all slow again? Oh, sorry, I completely... Jeez, I was starting to feel a little sympathetic towards him. How stupid of me, I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. Mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so he'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Why, I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh?
We've not gone through all the evidence yet.
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Why is there poison?
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here, I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death, a piece of evidence that he couldn't mess with. The Monami's notebook? The Monokuma file.
I see!
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm, which I don't get the laceration actually, and a knife impaled through his right hand. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about is... What is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Well, the estimated time of death is a bit weird. Oh, I have no idea, so I'm just going to try everything. Cause of death. There's so much going on right now. No! Oh, bloody hell, I can't believe I got it before I died.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
I did actually mention that, didn't I? Before the thing. Not only is there spirits... Yep.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death?
Poison.
Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
Oh. Oh. Now that's interesting. I'd never considered that. So somebody killed him with poison, and he covered it up by faking his own suicide. That's really clever. Also, my face isn't working. Why is that? Oh, there it is.
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied. Even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
Why did I vote for Chiaki?
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma! You heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be alright. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. Probably overthinking.
No!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought voting time was about to start, but, well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So Monami and I are the bestest of friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now. Enough! Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a tinsy tiny 1 millimeter bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know? You aren't even friends in the first place. And as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there has to be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait. We've got a title for the episode. No, I'm kidding.
I'm Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I I'm gonna fight too! I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
So if
Okay.
we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand.
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked her.
Let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly. We should cooperate at a time like this.
A fatal wound that wasn't the spear. We don't even know if it actually exists. But if it does, we need to find out what it is no matter what. Well, I feel like poison sort of stands out. What could kill someone in that list?
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds. Maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that. That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison?
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear!
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
He vaporized it? The way the poison... Oh, I should have written that. Roten? Hang on, it's here. Operation Elimination Method. The way the poison entered Nagito's body. The answer is written on the warning label? I should think carefully and try to remember it. Only 2 questions there. I've got basically no health though. Question 1. What was the state of the poison when it affected Nagito? Liquid? Gas. I actually literally said vaporized. Maybe that's why the fire was started. Why is there a ceiling bit? Possibly because it would have been much faster. Who knows?
It's all coming together! What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
The enchanted liquid is highly and potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, the liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
Fire.
Crap!
Smoke.
Crap!
I would sprinklers. I'm an idiot. That's his answer. Like that they call me the Black End.
We will never give up! What if instead of drinking the poison, I see!
The merch!
The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
The gaseous state is heavier than hair, breaks down in minutes, and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning.
But why does that change the vote?
The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, It was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should...
Blue piece of paper is still there.
Well, but
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Nagito's motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
If Nagito really brought poison to the warehouse, then the thing that would have been left behind is the container.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Those grenades.
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Yeah, those grenades we threw in. Keep the liquid secure by storing it in a cool place. In a glass or plastic container away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible. I mean, an accomplice? It is just too...
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right. You're totally right. That's totally it.
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
We're in the mood for not dying, though. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this as Nagito's suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt. But...
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga. Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is?
yes?
Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
What? is this feeling just now? Even though it was brief, it was just like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Akane said just now might be a new clue. From there I might be able to reach the answer. The way Nagito brought the poison means the thing he used as a container was... He might have been killed by one of us randomly without us knowing. Fire grenade. Yeah, I'm an idiot. No!
I got it!
He put him in all the fire grenades. We all killed him.
I see! I got it!
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
I'm smiling, because it might be Jackie. I might have accidentally guessed correctly by a technicality.
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Because it should have been aluminium. Because otherwise you're missing a vowel.
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
I tracked it all the way home.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
Sonia's words contain a clue.
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
This is really awkwardly timed for the episode.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
I had spelt aluminum actually. But it's still aluminium.
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room.
Right, and with that I'm going to let you go. I've been John Fox here on channel John West. I've been having a Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair adventure. See you guys next time. Thank you for watching.